All right, we're back, everybody. Hey, we're down here by the pond. Let me kind of show you what it's looking like. It is really cold today. How cold is it, Nick?
It is 20 degrees. It was 10 this morning when we started.
I know. We was fixing a little fence, doing some work out here on the place, and needed to use the old side-by-side to do some work, and we got a little hay to put out, but I want to show you this on the pond real quick. Now, I don't know if you can see that very well, but we kind of rolled down here to the pond, and it's frozen over. So it's really cold out here. So we've got this Polaris Ranger XP 1000, and this bike actually belongs to Nick. So like I said, he was out here helping us put some do some fence work and putting some things together, and we had to use this booger. And here's what we found out today. It's cold. Now, luckily we got a windshield on it, which is fantastic, but we was bringing some hay to put out while we were doing this, and sure as you can tell, there's no back glass. And so we're getting a lot of wind foiling up in there in the cab. It's loud, and we want to try to fix that today. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So on these Rangers, they have provisions for front and then back glass, but they don't come with them unless you buy a special package. So we want to fix that now. You can see there's a channel in here for it, okay? But there's no glass. And when you're hauling hay, or you got the nieces in here, and we're even doing some trail riding, it is frustrating because, you know, you're just not getting the airflow that you need, or it's just too loud, or things are blowing in there. So we want to fix that today. So we're going to take a few minutes in between our other work that we're doing, and we're going to see if we can fix that with the new back glass. Now this comes from us from StarknightMT, or StarknightMT, however you want to say it. Now this is not a paid promo. This is just had a good price point on it. We want to check it out and see how it works. So let's go ahead and unbox it, Nick, and see what you got inside here.
Fancy pack.
Well, it's packed well. You hope it is, because you don't want to have a bunch of scratches on your windshield. So
Yeah.
good thing for us is we got a set of instructions, which is always the great thing.
Fancy looking weather stripping, and that's good stuff. Look at that.
Yep, so we'll have to put that on there. It also looks like we've got some brackets. We'll get those packaged out here.
A bunch of hardware. Windshield looks like it's packed good.
We got this thing unboxed, and let me just show you what it's got. So first thing I noticed was it was packaged really well. It gave us a little bit of fight unpackaging some of those items. So, but what you got is you've got some latches. These are going to be for the top of the window. Again, you can consult your instructions. But this is going to work at the top, because this window is going to be able to be moved in and out, because, hey, sometimes it gets rough riding. So you're going to use this on the inside of the windshield, or the back glass. These are going to be the clamps that go on the other side of it. It's got the hardware provided to put that in. You can actually see that here. It also has the tabs that hold the glass in at the bottom. And we're going to show you that here in a minute, but it comes with all four of the clamps that goes in toward the bottom. And then, of course, the other clamps you would put in the side. Now, you also got a roll of weather strip in here. Now, this is going to be metal reinforced. Now, you can't feel it, but I can. But it's solid right around here. So, cool part is, if you can see down that channel, this will go into the glass. This part here goes to the frame of your window, and that's to make sure you get a good seal. But this just comes in a big roll. You're going to have a little extra, so we'll make sure to wrap it around the whole glass and install it, and we'll be ready to go put that in. So you can tell there's just not a lot to it. This should be pretty simple, we hope. So what we're going to wind up doing is we're going to put the weather stripping on. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and install the clamps, the holders, and then we'll actually add the pieces on the bottom, and of course with all the provided hardware. Now, another thing you have is this back glass, I should say, is wrapped really well. You can see it's got a protective coating on both sides in shipment to keep it from getting scratched. And they also give a little sticker pack. So if you're into stickers for your cooler, or even your back glass, you got a nice set of stickers there. So first thing we're going to do is we'll peel back some of that protective coating, and then that way we can go ahead and start installing some of this weather stripping. Take the film that's kind of pulled back a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and install the weather stripping. And this is actually a really simple process. You just got to get it started. You'll feel it kind of snap in. Nick's going to start his at the bottom there. You can start your seam wherever you'd like. That's where he's just chosen to do it. You'll be able to see it push in. You kind of feel a little positive catch.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep. Just work that around, make sure to give you plenty. So we made it about around the windshield, or the back glass. I keep saying windshield, but like I said, you should have plenty to make it all the way around. They give you a little extra, so we'll be able to kind of cut that off and make that a nice snug fit. But you can see we're just pushing it in, and
mind you, this stuff does snap pretty good.
yeah, it's a good tight fit. And if it's good, we should be able to cut this now. I would say this, you can't really just use a razor blade because it does have a little bit of a metal backing inside there. Metal support, so that way it keeps its good form. So you're probably going to want to use something to cut it that has a little bit of a bite to it. Now for this, I think what we're going to do is we're going to slide this thing over. We got some diagonal cutters, and it should make pretty good work of that. And we'll cut this where we got just enough to make a good tight seal. You don't want to cut it too short because then your seal's not going to match up. So a good straight cut's going to be really important here. Make sure to give you a little plenty of length. One of the reasons why we made the joint at the bottom is because if there is any water leakage, you're just going to lose it out the backside. So, all right, so we got the hardware settled out, so you can see we got all the nuts and bolts. They even provide the extra washers there, but you know, we're going to put these 4 hold downs on. Now these little clamps in the back, there's going to be 4 of those, and it's going to take a bolt each. So you got to think that's going to be what, 8 bolts, then a washer and a nut for the back side. And we're going to actually take those. They do have a self-locking nut, so there's a nylon inside there. So that's great. You won't have to worry about them backing out on you. And then they're just going to bolt to these holes right here onto the glass. And we're going to put 4 of those on. We're going to attach those now before we even put it on there, and we'll go from there. So we got all the hardware put into the back glass for the lower mount. So as you can see, we have 2 bolts, 2 washers that goes on the outside of the plexiglass. On the inside, it's just a single nylon nut, and you don't have to worry about a washer there because there's a provision on the bracket itself. So as you can see, we got all 4 of those started. Now, they will need to be tightened up. You don't want to go crazy with it. And what we're going to do is we have a 10mm socket which fits the nut perfectly. We'll also have a 5/32 Allen head. So we're going to put those together on here real quick. We're going to tighten that up, and then we'll move on to the top mounts. Okay, but I can hold the nut and you can tighten it. Go ahead. Let me flip this around. Hold on just a second. Always make sure it's in reverse or forward or reverse. Don't scratch your windshield. All right, I'd hold it right there. I think once it's snug, it's good. If you go too crazy with it, you're going to have a quarter windshield.
You can give her the beans.
Yeah, don't give it the beans. I would say if you do use power tools, use caution. And this Milwaukee will run this thing right out of your life.
Yeah, it's no go.
That means it works, folks. All right, we got the last one going in. All right, and again, I can't stress enough to not over tighten that. It will break, and you don't want to do that. So now let's move on to the top side. Let's go ahead and flip that over if you would. Nick, let's look at the top side of it. So as you can see, this has 3 holes that's provided in the windshield. Now this is where your top mounts will go. Okay, you can see them all here. And again, we did peel back the protective coating so we can pull that off later on. We just want to keep it on there so we don't have any boo-boos, if you will. But now we got to mount the hardware that goes in here, and these are going to be the levers that lock it in place on the top. So we're going to go ahead and get those. You can see the 3 provided levers here. We also have the backing plates, and then we have our remaining hardware. Okay, real quick, we got the top locking mechanism. Just kind of show you how it works here. So it's going to sandwich the back glass, and if you'll notice, open that up real quick. You'll see it has the stop here for the rotation. So this part here, this line here, this divot, that's actually going to be for like in the lock position. And of course this will be open, so when the lever goes down, it will come off the frame and can be able to shut. So you'll see the indentations right here for it as well. So we're going to go ahead and get those mounted to the to the top, and it will use these Remaining 3 bolts provided because we got 3 brackets, and we'll get those on and show you what that looks like in just a moment. All right, so now we've got the top brackets on. So you can see right here, each one of them's mounted into those 3 holes that we were talking about. So you have one on each side and one in the middle, of course. And the way this is designed, if we can flip this up, is that you have these backing pads that located onto the back glass. It's indented to where these snaps go in. So basically what it is you can put the glass in, it has a rest there, so when you take it off, and then of course when you put it in, you'll flip the tab and that locks it in to the top of the back glass mount. So this is a removable window, which is great exactly for what we're needing, right?
Yes, very.
Because man, this bike doesn't do just trail riding, it's a workhorse. Actually, let me show you on this real quick. So you have your frame on the windshield here, and we might need to get this hay out of here, but so you have your frame for the glass. So we'll be able to set that up there. Those lower tabs actually locate right here, which is going to be on this frame, and I can probably come back and show you on the inside. You can see where those locating tabs are going to go right here. So they're going to wedge and set on this frame, and then the top part's going to wedge right here, and that's where the arms will flip up and it'll locate the back glass. Let's go ahead and get this windshield picked up. We're going to set it in there, show you what it looks like. Hopefully peel off this protective coating and try this thing out. Okay, so it sits right on that bracket. Oh, I need to flip these levers down. It will not go with them up. Wait, let me show you the brackets where we installed and where they locate. So you can see the bottom tabs, they just go around your frame mount. So you've got the 4 tabs that holds that in. That's going to help keep it from rattling. We moved it a little bit. You can see right here, we actually moved it so the bracket comes closer to the frame of the windshield at the top. And what that did was that it actually moved the seal closer to the lower bracket. So we got it centered up a little bit better. At first I thought maybe we're supposed to set it all the way down, but that's not the way it goes. But in doing that, man, this thing is a tight seal. It is really tight. So I was worried about it being popping around or making noise. I don't think that's going to be the case.
At all. We'll find out here quick.
Yeah, because if you get to bouncing around, this could move a little bit, but the way it is right now, it's actually got a pretty good hold on it.
Yeah.
So each one of these brackets are in there really well. But with vibrations, it could come down a little bit. But hey, let's pull this plastic off and see what it actually looks like. And I'm sure the girls are going to appreciate this, having some kind of back glass. Oh man.
That's clean glass.
Yeah.
Looks
Well, let's go check this thing out. We'll back it out, see what it does for that sound. Matter of fact, we need to run down here and probably check the deer feeder anyway. So we'll check that out and we'll let you know how it does. Hopefully it makes a lot of difference. You can see it's actually sealed up pretty good. I think it'd do real well if you had the doors to go along with it. We're going to run this thing down the road and check it out. I can tell you right now, right in the back of this thing, it's a lot more quiet. Back glass is a win. All right, so we ripped this thing around the pasture a little bit, checked the deer feeder. Obviously, we need to probably get it out on the trail, the highway, and really check it out. But I can tell you this right now, I didn't have any hay blowing in my face. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Plus on these cold days, I tell you what, this morning we was working on a fence, it's probably 11 when we started out, so it was really cold. But it's already making a big difference. Just going down through the pasture, it's not as noisy with the motor. I'm not getting that backdraft up in here. And then you were telling me, what about the kids when you were going down the road?
We had to put glasses on them because the dust would actually fly up and come back in the cab when we were flying down the dirt roads, and you didn't feel that wind at all.
Yeah, and that's one thing we noticed too when we was riding trails in Mena, Arkansas. They got a great trail system there, and this bike went down all of it. But it's just the dust that rolls up in there. So if anything, save yourself some dust. But well, look at the fitment here. You can tell this thing lines up really well. Even at the bottom, everything just works really good. So You know, it's a poly glass, it's not an actual glass, but for our application, this is going to work out really well. And the fact that it's removable, because we do a lot of fence work, and I know Nick does a lot of fence work and just projects in general, if you need to pull it off so you don't want to break anything, you can just rip it off real quick and just move on. So overall, what you think?
I like it. Pretty solid. It feels good. Normally plexiglass has got a lot of flex in it. It's a pretty solid piece. It was great. It just looks really good.
Yeah, it looks like it belongs on the bike, and it's a really good piece. So pretty pumped about that. So big thank you to StarknightMT for letting us check this thing out. We're gonna run it through its paces. So it's not gonna just sit on there and look pretty. We're gonna find out how tough it is. Like I said, this thing, it's a work rig, but also it's meant to have fun. So if you're looking for a windshield, you wanna check them out, you can go to StarknightMT.com. I'll show the actual packaging that came in, but StarknightMT.com, that's where you can get, they have way more than just windshields. They have everything that you need for side-by-sides and ATVs. You can reach out and check them out. All right, any parting words? See ya.